What if a video game was not meant to be played, but understood? I just finished playing The Beginner's Guide, and I have to say that's a very personal journey and a very thought-provoking journey. If you like games like Firewatch or What Remains of Edith Finch, some of my favorite games, by the way, you're probably going to take a liking to this one as well. It's made by the same gentleman who made the Stanley Parable. Some games are about winning, some games are about skill. This game, The Beginner's Guide, is about doubt, creativity, and the uncomfortable process of making art. It's a great narrative adventure, wonderfully voice acted, and I have to say that this one's definitely worth your time, guys. I'm Cal, by the way, but you probably already knew that. And this is The Beginner's Guide. What's it about? Please make sure audio is on. And confirm. Controls is WASD and a button. That's all I get.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level.
OG
and of
Counter-Strike?
course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this?
Question.
This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator.
Spots, huh?
I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here.
This is OG Counter-Strike,
it's 2008,
guys. Plant the bomb.
Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again.
There you go, man.
And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
I wonder if it's true that these are games his friend made, or if this is just his storytelling. I don't mind though. I like telling a good story, and you can create things when making a good story, right?
Warning. Whisper machine active. Shift to structure imminent.
Evacuate immediately. Okay, I'm out.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Okay, I have unlimited ammo. Never mind, I don't. Going the right way and everything.
Security call reached. Hostile alien life forms inbound.
Oh no. Hostile alien life forms.
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets.
I figured that out myself.
But ultimately, we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin ship evacuation.
Okay, there we go. Doors open. Doors open. I'm free at last. Free at last. Lord Almighty, I'm free
I
at
love how you
last.
can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
He's a good storyteller, though. I like him. Luckily, you had ammo, yeah. Damn right, luckily I did have at some point.
Apparently, this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past
Thank
it.
you.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Dude, excellent narration. I love the way he tells stories. And dude, he has an amazing voice. This is absolutely something that he should be doing. Not that he needs my praise, but...
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do
Meaning
it?
chuck myself on the
Would you
beam?
give yourself?
Well, what choice did I have?
Let me pause here for a
Half-Life
second.
1 death.
What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
You sure that's a bug, mate? Oh.
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it, like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Ooh, this was really cool. November 2008. Oh. I can't immediately recognize this. Does anyone know? Can anyone identify the game? He should contact you. I'll give you 39 billion. I'd appreciate that.
So
Half
try
was
walking
behind her.
backwards. Yep, in this game you can only walk backwards.
Bug? Or a feature? Betting is defeat.
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
Becomes clearer. Right, I'd like to see where I'm going and not where I've been. But if the future is always behind her, how will she find the strength? Confront it.
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
All right. Horror game. Oh, I like this. And we have a torch of sorts. You are now entering the entrance. Hey!
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Right, I believe this guy. He's a very believable man. What do you guys say? Is he?
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games.
Nonsense in nearly every direction.
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
I get it. Alright, I guess we just go upstairs then. Hey!
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
I appreciate that. This game looks exactly like the toilet in Aker Brygge. It's like a really fancy toilet, and I feel like every time I visit it, I lower the property value. I'm sorry, Aker Brygge. Nothing but box of tech. Normal game. You have to scream in the mic every 15
A room that's warm and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
Enough, man.
Coda would often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
Better than missing a communist. I guess so. Ready, set, fish! Alright, a fishing game. Coda made a fishing game. Or did he? What game is this? I feel like every single game we visit is something. But I'm not sure I'm right. But I did recognize old original Counter-Strike, the first one. No doubt. This also seems very familiar though. Half-Life. Yeah, yes. That's where we're getting it from. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
I push the lever. Now I'm stuck here permanently. What if... Oh, that didn't get me anywhere.
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon.
Ah, okay.
We're gonna see it a lot.
Nice. Unreal tournaments with Minecraft door. Looks more like Half-Life. Those concrete walls. It would have the orange guidelines on top in so many parts of the game.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Whoa. I like this game very much. It's a good start. I'm intrigued so far.
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea.
Oh my god,
So,
look at this.
in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer
I
world.
can't jump.
Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
And we're back here again. You are now exiting.
So this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
The bad thing about these games with all this narration is that I have to shut up for a little bit. That's something I'm not very good with, guys. Oh, nice. This has horror potential, though.
Let's talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
Right. We have,
To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
F. Oh, huh?
The tools
We're entering
available
the
to
Tron.
the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
Oh, motherfucker, come on! Are you trying to kill me here? No? Oh, no! No, no, no! Well, okay, I guess I was going here anyway. I was worried about fall damage. Why don't I like this? Like, usually in a game, when a gate opens for you, that just sort of means trouble. Fuck. A little on the jumpy side today, huh? A little on the jumpy side. Yeah, and your schedule says you'll play Last Term on every Wednesday. That's a Twitch problem.
This prison,
I have no idea how to solve that.
In Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're going to skip that.
Yeah, I think we're going to skip that too.
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible?
Yes, I do.
And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else.
Hold
Believe me,
up.
I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
Hold on. That's a way to keep players from refunding the game. That's a good strategy, though. But you know how patient I am, Corsair. I would try to solve that puzzle for about 5 minutes, and then I would skip and play Last Term instead, because that was a damn good game.
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time.
So you say, but it's not true. No, it's true.
There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
I'm very curious where this game is going, though. I love the way the story is carrying. And, I'm here for the journey, not for the ending. But I'm very excited to see where we're going with this. I gather more of you people know this game, some of you? I have no idea what I'm doing. Listen. Hey there, did you come up from above?
Here, Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
There were these floating colored blocks, I remember them. You have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? Yes, I did! It was literally the last thing I did before coming here. No, wait, oh! I pushed the wrong button. Yes, wait. I did solve it. I'm the champion of solving puzzles. I can go anywhere I please. No, we can't. You're on the other side. You weren't on the other side at all. You have no idea what's on the other side. Can't help us escape this prison. You are not the one I need. I ain't that handsome. Wait. Hello there! Was there a puzzle you had to pass through? Yeah, I want to know how to solve it. No. We actually find the black space between the doors to be far more interesting. Have you seen it yet? Actually, now that you mention it, I remember feeling strange as I passed it. Don't think too hard about it. You'll see it again soon.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
All right. Is this more Half-Life, I wonder? No, this isn't Half-Life.
It's a lamppost.
Fair
Okay,
enough.
I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something.
Well, like
He wants a destination.
lamppost.
Which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
As you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes you see are left by other players. Oh. That's interesting. For some reason... Oh no, that can't be. Getting Assassin's Creed 1 vibes from this one particular area. I might be mistaken though. Okay, can I read these notes?
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually. Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
Yeah, I concur with the conclusion that you came to.
But it's ironic, isn't it? That in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
I feel that, though. I understand that. What to say, man? Did he write all these notes? Does not matter if you ever get out of it. That mean? Thoughts. Whoever made this has issue. I think that goes for the game creator. None of this game is pretentious and you all suck. Alright. Very interesting.
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one.
Shortcut? No shortcut.
In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
Yeah, so
And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together, to grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
So every time he creates a stressful scenario, fuck is that sound? He creates that puzzle to comfort himself? Can I put it like that? Typewriters. Are you there? Please say something. Need to say holy shit. Okay, there we go. Typewriters. Porn stars die too.
Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Okay. This one's tough. Gonna spin his few wheels for a little bit. I feel like I'm going backwards like in any other game to make sure, oh, is there something I didn't pick up? I don't think I need to pick up too much in this game. But alright. Based on the name though, do I have to censor this game? What's gonna happen? Y'all break out the popcorn. This is me getting banned live.
See, like, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it.
No,
you just
but I
walk to the end of
recognize
the
it.
hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Version 2. Okay, we're talking minimalism here. Okay, what furniture ought to go in the center of the room? How about a... yeah, TV with surround sound? Okay, or how about the table instead? You know, what about along the wall of the room? I'd really like a washing machine. Okay, doesn't really matter what I answer. Get light ups in this room. I'm thinking 10 by 12 recessed electric 6-inch soft LED ceiling lights with fluorescent trim. Or bars. Or that lamp. All right, you need a table. Tables were invented in 1935. Live Tesla coils. Yeah, we should have. Whoa!
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything.
Okay.
It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
Yeah. This feels like you're being artsy and expressive for the sake of being
So,
artsy
okay,
and
he
expressive.
throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Hello, please walk forward. What's behind me then? No, I had to know. I will able to escape from any prison environment. Carefully, so that you remember each step. First, click on this table. Good. Go over to the photo frame and click to turn it slightly. This one? Now, turn the floor lamp on this room off. Floor lamp is off. Turn it back on. Does look on already. Okay. There we go. Now go to the left side sofa. Move it over a little. Left side sofa. This one, I guess? Go. Finally, touch the shelves. Ooh, I like touching the elves. That's it. In real prison, the escape will now be open. Return to the start. Be taken back to your prison. I'm not sure I want to be taken back to my prison. But all right. Guess return is what we will do.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape.
Yeah.
Here's a version where
That
there are
was
no
mean.
bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this, to see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on?
Yeah.
But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop, that particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons.
Good for Coda.
This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Interesting. Prisoner, the final version. Love that image though. That's gonna go on the thumbnail. Little dark, little moody. Okay, feeling some tension here. I like it. I like it. Potential for jump scares. And there's the destination again, the lamppost. Hey, 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 hey! Lord! I should have known something like that was coming. You know what? It's gonna be a beautiful death for me. Having a heart attack while doing the thing that I love the most. Thank you. Thank you, Serpix, for the biddies. Oh. Death. Hello? Who is this? Hey, it's me. I'm from after you escaped the prison. You're me? So, you were trapped in this prison too? Yep, I was in the furniture maze. I was in this...
It's a conversation.
Tutorial.
And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows.
Aww.
But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
That's kind of sad, actually. That's kind of... Yeah, there's a conversation going on behind me. I'm really the same person now as I was back then. Oh no, that's awful. That's the worst thing I can imagine. Don't worry, it's actually not a bad thing. I promise. Wait, if you're me, then did you get a call from another version when you were trapped? No, I'm the first person to call back. Then can you tell me how to get out? Maybe I can come find you. What do I have to do? Oh. To get out, just talk with me for a bit. Yeah. What? That will free me? How does that work? Listen, you can't know until you're out, but I promise it worked. Okay, I can talk. Just talk for a bit. Will you be here? For as long as you need, buddy. Ooh. It kind of hurt a little bit.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
I guess so. August 2009.
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
Ooh. Graphics are looking nicer as well, huh, Coda? You're doing well.
To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the two doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
All right, and then we then we have a nice house, nice lamps. Well, my goodness, I'm glad as heck you showed up. I thought might be having to clean this entire house all by myself, and right miserable that would have been. Everyone knows lonesome hands make lousy homes.
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Yeah. Well, let's clear the table. Much nicer. That's the table I want to see. Now, would you please run to the bedroom and make the bed? If you were a bedroom, where would you be, though? I'd be here. Ha! Straighten the rug out a bit. There we go. Been a long time since I've seen a house this messy. Kind of works. Gotta do those judgments pretty fast. No, which pillows on this couch are a wreck. You come straighten them out? Sure thing, buddy. Got your pillow. Oh dear, looks like I'm gonna spill a drink over the couch. Maybe mop that up while you're there? No problem. Feel compelled to share an incredibly cheesy personal insight. You okay with that? Make it especially cheesy. King cheese right here. No. Was stupid. Sorry. Never mind. Hey, these dishes need to be washed. Why don't you come do that? All right. Last I checked, the tub needed a little. There we go. Reminds me of these $2 indie games. Are there still books scattered on the floor in the bedroom? If so, would you put them back on the shelf? Yeah, there are scattered books. We got that. Perfect! Now then, how about you come and clear these dishes off the table?
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
What about an awesome? Just go smooth out the rug in the bathroom.
I know that Coda really liked this game. Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was like grossly happy all the time. Just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And he did something for himself. Maybe he felt better. Or maybe he did better. Maybe he smiled more. Which is actually not a bad thing. That's what I was looking for. Earlier I said I had a really cheesy thought. I'm going to say that it occurs to me that one's house is locked like one's soul. Take care of it, and it takes care of you. I don't know why I felt so weird about saying that. Get it? It's a weird thing to say. No. You're right. That's pretty cheesy. But there's a bit of truth in it, no? Anyway. So, housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Books. Would you please clean up the books? Thanks. I'm kind of ready for next level, man. House cleaning ain't my game. Oh, goodness, those pillows on the couch are a real mess.
I'm glad he made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
I don't know a story about this game creating. I wonder is...
But, of course, it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
So, I can't stay in the dark for too long. I have a feeling like something's gonna happen to... Lamp post again, the destination.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
September 2009. Items you love.
This one gets a bit goofy.
Prices. Why did you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? Oh. You came here to become perfect. Brave try, buddy. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Thank you, by the way. Who do you know who is so well developed as a person that they make you feel disgusted with it? Compared to whom you feel used, selfish, ungrateful. I intend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp. The question is not, how do we do it, but how do we do it effortlessly? This is easy. It's so easy. So easy.
About halfway through the game, the perspective shifts.
Oh.
And you play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
Oh. Let's go up to that stupid eye. Oh, I can't. I can only walk around there. Holy shit, you guys. Something's come out of the room. Look! Everyone, run! Yeah, dude.
I felt pretty hard for this one. I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days.
We like someone for their qualities, but we learn to love them because of their little flaws. Thank you.
This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
So Stage, we're a performer of sorts in this game. Right, the performance is beginning. Places, please. We'll be playing as me. We are a gathering of professionals. First, you start leaning against this wall. All right, I'm leaning. Good, stay right there. Woman across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It's her dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something. Go on, say something to her. Hello. Hello? That's it? That's not a conversation. You need to actually converse with her. Be a human being. Do it again. Here are all my hopes and dreams. No, let's start off playfully here. I'm super scared right now. No. That's not what I said to her at all. You're completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it was just that one moment, but I was confident. Maybe it's that you need a better feel for the setting. There was a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent the people nearby. Now talk to her again. Oh. You must have worked really hard to get to where you are. You're messing it all up again! No, I'm not. You realize how important this was for me? I'll never get another opportunity like this again. Everything was riding on this. I want to try something. Try stepping back from the stage. That looks awesome. It really does. Back to the prison, huh? Oh, shit. Yes, now this is working. This is what I like.
The game ends with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this.
No, I agree.
You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do?
Though. Grim.
After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
June 2010. Play this game properly. Must Eyes closed. Click to begin the game. Okay, I can't do that. Help, I'm blind. What's going on? No, fuck this. I'm seeing it all. Can't die like this. I don't know what happened to us. Please, someone talk to me. Please don't let this be forever. It says whisper. Whisper? Killed by a giant door? But maybe I should have closed. Help, I'm blind.
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already.
I have.
It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise.
Yeah, I have.
And there is a solution, by the way.
Let's see. Up here. Truth. The only way to stop it is to speak something that is honest. We can't keep making these. Yeah, that's it. That's the truth. Damn right it is. It's draining
Like I
me.
said, I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way. His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
All right, let's see it. Hello. This game has been great, though. I'm impressed. Where did this island come from? Hello, anyone here? Oh. Is that a person? How lovely. Where? Where the person? It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. What's wrong? You look lost. When I try to create, I feel empty. Oh no. What's happening? Did something change? I'm trying to find this engine that used to protect me to start it again. Oh, there we go. Wait, you're looking for a machine? I think I know where it is. It isn't far. I need to see it. I know why it stopped.
If the last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even.
Absolutely.
And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for?
I love stories like this.
Because from my perspective at the time and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
In that case, close the door. Next. Now, press the switch there. Ah, that was so simple.
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. it doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
Yeah, this has been great, man. Dude, and that crying in the background doesn't make it any less intense. Dude, and now now the only thing I can say is
game
lying.
At the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like video games are not worth this amount of suffering.
No.
This is someone I really cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me. I don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed
back to that
anything
prison again.
for this to stop.
A person! Dude.
But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
The Machine. Hard. Ma'am, glad to see you arrived safely. We captured the machine. Waiting for you. In the interrogation whenever you like. I intend to be quick. Very good. Just be warned. Someone called a press. We might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one thing you about the machine. It calls itself Coda. Oh. Good. So well made. This is Coda the machine, huh?
And of course, it's the machine.
Ah. You know, this guard's voice actor him somewhere. I think I've heard him. I can't just place him. Stop feeding him. People out there, can you imagine the pain you put them through? You have to admit to people that you allow them to suffer. I've been so alone. Apologize for leaving. No? Nothing? Alright then, I'll apologize to the people on your behalf. Fucking hell. My friends! Falls on me to deliver bad news! Machine will not apologize to us. But this is important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. We will find a way to live without it. We do not need its games. Let us pay it retribution! Follow me, we will destroy the machine! Oh, this feels terrible. And then we're back on stage. Oh, remember, I have ammo now. Am I fighting the machine? This, this is like a huge level now?
Remember, you can click to fire the gun.
Oh. I knew that, but thought I was fighting the machine. Coda! I'll make sure your work dies here!
So now the work is becoming self-destructive.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this
Easy
game,
with ammo,
shortly
yeah.
after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation.
See?
And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
Well, let's see about that. Ah!
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
Ain't that something, huh? We are. Now, that was a hell of a lot easier when we had ammo. Down you.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to
Yeah.
do?
Yeah, I can.
Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something, I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem.
Yeah.
When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy.
But then what? I sense a plot twist.
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look.
Right. That's ominous. The Tower, the last game that Coda ever made. Right. Got the graphics going on, parquet flooring.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game.
What you're saying? Absolutely. All that desperate crying in the background.
This room actually has a maze in it.
Hey!
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise, so the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played, it actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, he really didn't want to have his games played at all, did he?
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game.
Yeah.
You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But
Appreciate that.
That game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze?
Oh, a puzzle of sorts?
The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
Oh. 15, 16. I was close. 17. And there we go. Puzzle solved. Didn't even have to Google anything. Oh shit! I know you guys would have covered me though. You guys are awesome.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress.
You have to no-clip.
And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem.
Yeah, I hear you, brother. Here you go.
But I can open this door for you, so let me do that.
Thank you.
Was I a failure for not understanding this game?
No.
I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is.
At that.
It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't.
You noticed those 3 dots a couple of places. I thought they were traps of some sort that he hadn't implemented. Now I'm curious what they actually mean.
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left, and it felt somehow like I had failed.
Yeah, that is fair, though. Everyone wants to win, especially when it comes to supporting your friends, helping.
Where did I screw up?
Don't say that about yourself. Right. Here, Davey, thank you for your interest.
I'm the reason that you stopped
speaking
making
of-
games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you.
Oh, that sucks.
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
I wonder at times what he was making do. Yeah, really good narration. So infected.
And the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
You've so infected my personal space that it is possible I did begin to plant solutions in somewhere hidden between games. There was an answer, a meaning. Would it make you any happier? You stop taking my games and showing them to people against my wishes, giving them something that is not yours to give, violating the one boundary that keeps me safe. Stop changing my games. Stop adding lampposts. Simply.
And then you stopped, and I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing. What does that mean?
Simply let them be what they are. When I'm around you, I feel physically ill. Desperately need something, and I cannot give it to you. I literally do not have it. Struggling to come up with my day. Rest. Low points are just a part. The fact that you think I'm frustrated or broken says more about you than about me. I realize this makes sense. It's fine. Not my problem to solve. That's good timing, brother. Thank you, though. I appreciate you. Derp. But I do hope that one day it clicks. And that you make peace with this thing you are wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
Finally see. Oh.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading. And all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
Wow. Wow, guys. That was... There's more. But that took a twist I didn't quite see coming. That took that made a strike. Let's see the epilogue. I like this. That's open.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease. Solution.
This guy definitely had a lot of issues to deal with himself.
I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons.
Fair conclusion to draw. Weird though, no doubt, but...
Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
Come on. One's gonna hate. Blank. Oh, where the hell is this? Did not expect this to just become satisfied. I will admit.
If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
This is gonna seem so weird coming from a dude sitting on a webcam playing a game, but that is like, you know, you if you're fortunate, I think you grow past that. I mean, every now and then it's cool to have someone say they appreciate you. Did a good job. That was cool, the thing that you did. Or today you look good. Something like that. But don't make your life about validation from others, man. That's find a spot to love yourself, you know. Find a little energy to care for yourself first. Care about that. Care about you.
What now?
Move forward, one foot at a time.
I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for, and so I'm just gonna... Okay.
Stay for a bit more? Just a little bit? Help me see this through, buddy. Back to dust. Some version thereof. Some weird ass temple. Guessing this is it, the hatch. Oh, I thought I thought this was gonna take me all the way to the top. Luckily. So interesting though. How come there was only one person in this game? And really well made. You remember that? Just for a glimpse? We saw one person in the prison for a couple of seconds. What was that about? I'm not gonna have to watch a documentary on this game now. Not only what was that, but who was that? That the energy beam? Greta Thunberg? I don't think it is. I remember this, man. That was the energy beam. We're supposed to chuck ourselves on that. And if he left the bug in, we're gonna float. If not, we're gonna have a Half-Life death. Oof, they left the bug in. I will ascend instead. Whoa! That is trippy. That is trippy. Like the planet, the curvature of the Earth, which is round, can be seen. You know, and there's labyrinths all over the round Earth. Do you? Jesus, fuck. He always gets me. Dude, this has been such a good game, though. But I don't know if I understand everything. Looks flat. You clearly see the curvature of the Earth here. Clearly. As you can with both digital and analog planets. Or are.
I sit here breathing, your face fading slowly. Can't hold what's leaving these quiet hands folding. Love, will you walk away? Walking, love, nothing left for talking. All the weight we carry, all the ways we worry. Now the silence settles, soft as fault. Petals, love, we walk away. Walking, love, to something calmer. Ooh, ooh. These quiet